Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit in, like you were a little bit different from everyone else? Well, let me tell you a story about a little duckling who felt exactly the same way, and how he turned his biggest insecurity into his greatest strength. Our story begins in a cozy little corner of a bustling farmyard where a mother duck sat proudly on a nest full of eggs. One by one, they hatched, revealing fluffy, yellow ducklings, peeping and waddling around. But the last egg, much larger than the rest, took a little longer. When it finally cracked open, out stumbled a bird that was different. It was bigger, his feathers were a dusky gray, and his honk sounded more like a clumsy The other ducklings pointed their beaks and whispered, "Look at him. He's so plain and awkward. He's not like us at all." The little gray bird felt a pang of sadness. He tried his best to fit in, to waddle like his siblings and quack like them, but he always felt clumsy and out of place. The other farm animals weren't much kind. The chickens would cluck, the pigs would snort with laughter, and even the proud rooster would crow a little louder whenever he passed by. "What an ugly duckling," they'd say. Loneliness became his constant companion. He would often hide among the reeds by the pond. Watching the other animals play games, he was never invited to join. He saw how the bees worked together to gather nectar, how the ants formed perfect lines to carry food, and how the birds built nests up. Everyone seemed to have a place, a purpose, a team. Everyone but him. One day, feeling more alone than ever, he wandered far away from the farm to a forgotten patch of land behind the old barn. It was a messy, overgrown place, full of tangled weeds and thorny bushes. But amidst the chaos, the duckling saw something else. Potential. He saw a few stubborn wildflowers pushing their way through the soil, reaching for the sun. An idea sparked in his heart, a tiny seed of hope. What if he could create a place where everyone was welcome, no matter what they looked like? A place of beauty, built from scratch. He decided to start a garden. It was hard work, especially all by himself. His large, clumsy feet, which were so awkward for waddling, were surprisingly good at tamping down the soil. His long neck, which made him stand out so much, was perfect for reaching pesky weeds deep within the thorny bushes. He worked from sunrise to sunset, clearing the land, turning the soil, and planting the few seeds he could find. Slowly, other animals started to notice. A family of timid field mice, usually hiding from everyone, peeked out from their burrow. They saw the duckling wasn't laughing or shouting, just working quietly. Curious, they scurried over. The duckling noticed they were excellent diggers. "Could you help me make little holes for these seeds?" he asked gently. The mice, surprised to be asked for help, eagerly agreed. Their tiny paws were perfect for the delicate job. Next, a grumpy old badger, who usually kept to himself, grumbled from his den. "What's all this digging and scratching about?" he huffed. But then he saw the neat rows and the cleared ground. The duckling, instead of being scared, looked at the badger's strong claws.
"Sir,"
he said politely, "your claws look very strong. Would you mind helping me break up this tough patch of clay?" The badger, taken aback by the compliment, thought for a moment and then lumbered over to help. His strength turned the impossible soil into a fine, workable bed in no time. Soon, the garden became a community project. The squirrels, with their excellent memory, remembered where they had buried the best acorns and nuts, offering them up for planting. The earthworms, the unsung heroes of the soil, aerated the ground, making it rich and healthy. The ladybugs arrived to help with pest control, munching on aphids. Even the frogs from the nearby pond helped by singing songs in the evening that seemed to make the plants grow taller. The duckling wasn't just a gardener, he was a leader. He saw that the badger's grumpiness was just a tough exterior, and his strength was a huge asset. He saw that the mice's shyness didn't stop them from being precise and helpful. He realized that everyone had a unique skill. His own supposed flaws, his size, his long neck, his strong feet were actually his greatest tools. Being different wasn't a flaw, it was a gift. As the seasons changed, the garden flourished. It was a spectacular tapestry of colors and shapes. There were tall sunflowers, delicate roses, sweet strawberries, and crunchy carrots. It was more beautiful than any other part of the farm because it was so diverse. It was a garden built by teamwork, kindness, and the unique talents of every single creature. The animals from the farmyard, drawn by the beautiful sight and delicious smells, came to see what all the fuss was about. They saw the chickens, the pigs, and all his former bullies staring in amazement. They saw the ugly duckling standing proudly in the middle of his creation, surrounded by his new friends. He wasn't awkward or clumsy here. He was confident, a leader who had brought everyone together. He offered them a bright red strawberry. As they tasted the sweet fruit, they looked at him with new eyes. They saw his kindness, his vision, and his hard work. They saw how he had created a community where everyone belonged. They finally understood that his worth wasn't in his appearance, but in his character and his actions. As winter approached, the duckling looked at his reflection in the garden pond. He was no longer a scruffy, gray bird. His feathers had transformed into a brilliant, pure white. His neck was long and elegant. He wasn't a duckling at all. He was a magnificent swan. But you know what? He had stopped caring about what he looked like long ago. He had already found his true self, not in his reflection, but in the garden he had built and the friends he had made. He realized that true beauty, true confidence, doesn't come from looking like everyone else. It comes from embracing who you are, with all your unique quirks and talents. It comes from finding your purpose and sharing your gifts with the world. He had built a garden of confidence, not just for himself, but for everyone who had ever felt a little different. And so, the swan chose to stay. He stayed with his friends, the mice, the badger, the squirrels, and all the others who had helped him. The garden became a symbol of their unity, a place where everyone was celebrated for their differences. It was a living reminder that the most beautiful things in the world are often a mix of everything, and that even a so-called ugly duckling can create a world of beauty and bring everyone together. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more tales that inspire and uplift. See you next time.